Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk changed the television industry when they decided that American Horror Story would be an anthology, inventing a new set of frights each year. Even though every season of Oz is related, we mostly get a sense of continuity from the rotating ensemble that Murphy and Falchuk used to play different characters in each season. So, who among this rogues gallery of Oz actors is the best to qualify? An actor had to be in at least 3 of the show's 7 seasons. Cameos count, and so do actors playing the same character across seasons, like Gabourey Sidibe's Queenie, who appeared in Covenant Hotel. Here are the final results. And remember, there can only be one Supreme. For a show with tons of murder, there are a whole lot of stiffs, including Cheyenne Jackson. His roles in his first 2 seasons were quite small, but maybe cult's dastardly psychiatrist Dr. Rudy Vincent will be his breakout role. Twisty the Clown is great and all, but not really a stretch for a veteran character actor like Lynch. Neither was clown-loving John Wayne Gacy, who he played in Hotel. Let's stop clowning around and give the guy something with meat on its bones. Other than her always washing ghost Hazel from Hotel, it's hard to remember the bit parts that Winningham has inhabited. The St. Elmo's Firestar deserves a whole lot better. Her Define Witch Queenie was one of the highlights of Coven, and a pleasant surprise when she popped up again in Hotel. But now that she's too busy with Empire, we've been robbed of her for several seasons. He breezed through 2 of his 3 seasons, but did an equitably good job as a detective with a taste for evil in Hotel. What do we have to do to get a season where he and Dylan McDermott play homicidal brothers with meaty leading roles in 2 of the first 3 installments? Farmiga should have been one of the cornerstones of the Oz franchise. However, her dour Violet and similarly dour Zoe show a lack of range that is far more troubling than any of the scary monsters in the basement. There is only one reason why Roberts is this high on the list: Madison Montgomery. Her bitchy teen star turned killer witch in Coven was the barb-tossing scene stealer of the season. It was such a good character, Murphy essentially remade it for Scream Queens. However, when she isn't slashing people with her tongue, Roberts can be a bit bland. The only redeeming thing about the abysmal freak show was Whitrick's breakout performance as Dandy Mott, an over-the-top spoiled sociopath who also happened to look pretty excellent wearing just a pair of tidy whities. He was similarly handsome as a mostly naked model in Hotel, but totally disguised his moneymaker in Roanoke, playing one of the cannibalistic country bumpkins. It's enough to make him one of the only actors in the ensemble brave enough to not rest on pretty. Just like your introverted cousin Sally, Rabe is always around, even though you often forget about her. Maybe that's because her roles in Murder House, Freak Show, and Hotel, where she played real-life serial killer Aileen Wuornos, were so small you could miss them if you got up to go get a snack. But the demonically possessed Sister Mary Eunice in Asylum and the Stevie Nicks-inspired Misty Day in Coven will always be fan favorites. Elizabeth Taylor, the trans bartender in Hotel, is one of the all-time best creations on the series. As the head of a family who runs off so she can be her true self, O'Hare is stunning in the role. The openly gay actor is similarly great, butching it up as a sinister burn victim in Murder House, and as a completely mute doll collector in Coven. He never has the flashiest roles except for Liz, but he always knocks them out of the park. She was absolutely underutilized in Freak Show and Hotel, but when Murphy gives Bassett the material, she is an absolute master. Just look at the vengeful, undying Marie Laveau in Coven, or her double portrayal of Lee Harris Monette Museum in Roanoke. We still don't know who or what shall be playing in Cult, but that inevitable appearance means Conroy will be in every Oz season but Hotel. Sometimes the roles are smaller than others, but her stoic iciness is always perfect, especially as incestuous socialite Gloria in Freak Show or her greatest creation, the doomed fashion witch Myrtle Snow. Balenciaga forever. Although she doesn't have as many installments under her belt, no one is as much of a shapeshifter as Bates. Whether it's Ethel, her Baltimore-accented bearded woman from Freak Show, or the dowdy receptionist Iris in Hotel, she gives a totally different look and a complete character study each time she's on the show. She even managed to steal scenes as Severed Head in Coven. That's dedication. Like horror movies in general, Oz has always been better known for its female characters than the men they're falling in love with, fighting off, or bringing back to life as unspeaking Frankenstein monsters. Peters is the only person other than Sarah Paulson to be in each season, and he's made his career playing a crazy cast of characters, from the brooding high school shooter of Murder House to the daffy billionaire of Hotel. Peters is the ultimate utility player, and the show would be impossible without his constant metamorphoses. From the very first episode of Oz, Jessica Lange was the reason to watch. She mastered the sort of campy menace that has become the program's stock and trade in a way that no one else could. Her best performance is Sister Jude, the strict nun who becomes a patient in asylum, but it was the meddling neighbor Constance in Murder House that will always be her most delicious. While her scenery chewing was perfect as the outgoing Supreme in Coven, it was a little too extreme as Elsa Mars, the head of the titular freak show in the next season. It's a shame that she walked away from franchise. We all pray that one day she'll be lured back, because it's just not the same without her. It's impossible to imagine Oz without Sarah Paulson. Though her role as psychic Billie Dean Howard was pretty small in Murder House, she absolutely slayed as journalist Lana Winters in Asylum. She has been close to the star of the show every season since, and one of only 2 actors to be in each installment. Whether she's playing conjoined twins freak show, a witch with severe mommy issues Coven, or, scariest of all, a Jill Stein voter cult, Paulson is a bright spot in even the most dreadful season. She's twice played different roles in the same season, too, reprising Howard in Hotel and Winters in Roanoke. Pretty soon, they'll probably make a season where she just plays every single character. It will be the best season yet.